Alright, so today we're going to be comparing the Tab S8 Ultra versus the Tab S8 Plus. Honestly, both of these are really good tablets. It just really depends on how you use them and how you plan on using them on your day-to-day. So that's the only thing that's going to be majorly different here. But otherwise, they're both very similar. They both look pretty much exactly the same design, same hardware. Honestly, like I don't think the cameras are much different. The Tab S8 Ultra looks a little bit longer when it comes to the camera, but they have the same spot for the S Pen, have very similar antenna designs for the Wi-Fi, same spots for hardware such as the power buttons are in the same spot, same design there. They both have the micro SD card support, so they both can expand to up to a terabyte for some light apps or for some data. And you can also use the under display fingerprint sensor on both of them. Both of them I think have the same exact one, so they perform about the same. Sometimes they're hit or miss, sometimes they're just fine. So they're about 95% accurate and pretty fast too. They're not the quickest in the world, but they're pretty quick. But you also have facial recognition, so if you want to use that, you can. Both of them have the USB-C on the right hand side or at the bottom, depending on which orientation you have the tablet at. So they're both capable of up to 45 watts of charging, and you can provide and connect docks as well if you want to expand your like ports that you have there. You both have quad firing speakers, so both of them are really loud and honestly sound pretty much the same. If anything, the Tab S8 Plus is more impressive because it's much smaller, so it gets as loud, if anything, maybe just about the same actually, like I said, as the Tab S8 Ultra. I don't know if the Tab S8 Ultra is like much louder, but they both sound very good, and like I said, it's a little bit more impressive because it's a smaller tablet on the Tab S8 Plus. Both of them have the not the USB-C, but they have the Samsung keyboard connector on the bottom, so it's for first-party Samsung keyboards. Now, the Tab S8 Ultra currently, as far as I know, only has one option, which is the book cover keyboard. So it's roughly around $350, but it is a keyboard that protects the back. That's two pieces, so it's like the back magnetic cover, so it protects the S Pen as well. So that S Pen always stays on the charging part. Versus the Tab S8 Plus. Oh, and you can also connect the keyboard if you want to. But on the Tab S8 Plus, it has the same one. It's ever so slightly different, a little bit different keys, which are a little bit more clickier and not backlit. Smaller keyboard and a smaller trackpad as well, but you also have the ability to use a slim one. Now I don't know if the slim one is newer. I feel like it might have came out with the Tab S7 FE. I don't remember it being around last year. It could have been, but to me it seems new. It's a slim keyboard or slim book cover that's one piece, so you can has the similar functionality as the book cover keyboard that both the Tab S8 Plus and the S8 Ultra can do, but it's a little bit more simpler. So you have the keyboard but no trackpad, and it's the same keys as the Tab S7 Plus book cover keyboard, so it's clicky and good travel, just no trackpad there. And you both can angle or dock your tablet in a certain spot, but the Tab S8 Plus slim keyboard one just docks at one angle. So you set it, you're done, and you're good to go. So that's maybe a plus for some people because you don't have to think about it, or it's a negative for some people because you don't have the flexibility and freedom to angle it at any position. But nevertheless, you can do that. And they also provide a protective spot for the keyboard or for the S Pen itself. So the slim keyboard doesn't allow you, or you can, it has an open back so you can place it on the charging spot, but it's still free, so you're kind of vulnerable to losing it or knocking it off easily. It does have an inside slot, a magnetic spot for the S Pen there to keep it safe if you want to, but you kind of lose the ability to charge it. So if you use air gestures, which is the only part that needs that extra battery, and if you want to use a remote shutter and stuff like that, that's a downfall. You can't keep your tablet charged or your S Pen charged at all times, but it doesn't take forever to charge either, like 10 minutes from holding max charge. But personally, I don't use air gestures, so that's not a loss for me. That's not a big deal. And personally, I prefer that slim keyboard better for the Tab S8 Plus because for me, I see this as a tablet first versus the Tab S8 Ultra that not only do I see as a tablet, but as much more than the tablet. It can be a Chrome/laptop-like experience as well, which is very beneficial with that book cover keyboard that it provides. So for me, book cover keyboard on the Tab S8 Ultra and the slim book cover keyboard on the Tab S8 Plus. That's how I like it, even though I have the ability to use the other book cover keyboard, the full one, and I just don't take advantage of it, so I prefer the slim one. It's cheaper, and it's a little bit just one piece, don't think about it much and just set it up. Both of them though don't provide much function or protection, I should say, when it comes to protecting the sides, or I should say the front too. So the front, it's only protected when you have it closed. It protects the screen ever so slightly. I hope it doesn't scratch the screens. And then the sides are completely opened up and it's free for them to actually bump into something, onto a table or something like that. So yeah, just keep that in mind that they don't provide great protection. They just provide some pretty good functionality. I will also say that both of them are also not very nice when you're trying to use them on a non-flat surface. So if you plan on using them on your like lap, when you're at the couch or on a chair or something, if anything, the slim one is a little bit nicer because it's a hard surface and it's one piece, so your hands actually balance the weight of the tablet so it doesn't like shake at all, or it's not like flimsy at all, versus the book cover keyboard, whether it be on the Tab S8 Plus or the Tab S8 Ultra. It's a two-piece, so that keyboard is very light, and then the top is just a tablet, so it could easily fall back or something like that, and it feels flimsy, so it's not nice. But if you really want to do on your lap, on the go type of stuff, you know, in the car, on a train or something, or in a plane, even though you could probably set up a table or something like that, the slim one provides much more comfortable and safer. It seems a little bit more sturdier when you're typing on your lap. So just keep that in mind, that if you plan on doing that, the slim one is actually much nicer than the actual book cover keyboards. Book cover keyboards are much better off using a hard flat surface such as a table. As I mentioned, display size would probably be the major difference between when it comes to display, but both of them are 1440p, 120 hertz AMOLED displays. This is a 14.6 inch display on the Tab S8 Ultra versus a 12.4 inch display on the Tab S8 Plus, so it's really just the screen size. There are some other differences here. So both of them have pretty slim bezels, but the Tab S8 Ultra takes it a little bit more slim route, and it's much slimmer on the sides with a little bit of a notch there for the cameras. But for me, that doesn't bother me at all. Tab S8 Plus has a more even bezel throughout the whole tablet. It's a little bit thicker, but it still provides really good screen real estate when you're using it on a day-to-day. So for me, it makes sense because you're more likely going to use this handed, not one-handed, but you know, use it in hand mode, you know, just using it like a tablet. So that bezel provides a decent amount of room for you to provide your finger and put down whenever you're not using it on the screen. Versus the Tab S8 Ultra, I find that you can use it, you know, with your hands if you want to, but you're more than likely going to dock this beast here. So you're more than likely going to use either the book cover keyboard, or you might buy like an accessory that allows you to dock it on somewhere like a monitor stand or something, and be able to use it that way, which is how I typically use this keyboard or this tablet itself. Versus the Tab S8 Plus, I also use it, you know, dock sometimes, but I also, like I said, see it as a tablet first, so I do tend to hold it in my hand just naked like this, and the bezels allow you to easily handle it in your hand much easier. But both of them are sharp and great and smooth, so whether you're watching videos or just scrolling around is smooth. Watching videos, not only does it look smooth as well, but it also looks very sharp. Both of them are very bright. Both of them are colorful, honestly, and they're both like a similar aspect ratio. So that means that you're gonna get pretty minimal bezels there, so you can zoom in and not have to worry about losing a lot of, you know, screen real estate. So again, displays, whether it be S8 Ultra or the S8 Plus, you're gonna get the same display. It's just screen size, which where you have to consider it. So again, going with the basis of this review, it really just depends on whether or not you need that bigger screen or not. So going into the day-to-day, it's where the bigger screen and the smaller screen makes a difference. So performance, Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 with 8 GB of RAM on both of these. So both of them are gonna get the same performance, but it is different, or I do different things, I should say, on either tablet. So I'll start with the Tab S8 Plus. Both of them I use a lot for multimedia, so that's a lot of YouTube, a lot of shows, watching sports, watching movies, shows, whatever it may be. I do that a lot on both of these tablets. But the Tab S8 Plus, for some reason, that's mostly what I stick to. So I do a lot of video watching on the Tab S8 Plus. I think it's a really good, portable, nice screen, just overall great quality tablet to use for just multimedia use, which is mainly what I find myself doing on this tablet. Occasionally I'll do some like gaming, and occasionally, very rare, will I do some multitasking. On the Tab S8 Ultra, not only do I also do a lot of multimedia use, such as, like I said, YouTube and stuff like that, but with the bigger screen, I personally feel a lot more comfortable doing multitasking stuff on here. So I'll typically jump into Dex real quick and we'll do some multitasking. I just use this as a standalone laptop / Chrome-like experience. Both of them have the ability to go into Dex, but for me, I feel much more comfortable on the bigger screen, which is why I prefer the Tab S8 Ultra for Samsung DeX. Same thing with just multitasking on tablet mode. I much prefer if I have to do it on the Tab S8 Ultra because of the bigger screen. Just the way, for some reason, I feel a lot more comfortable on there. Again, you can do it on the Tab S8 Plus, and maybe you'll feel more comfortable on a smaller screen doing that, and you might like that better on the Tab S8 Plus. Another thing you can do is use the second screen feature found in this quick settings for the Tab S8 Ultra, which allows you to connect to your PC, like my computer back here, and use this as a second monitor, a third monitor. Usually I use this third monitor because I only have two right now. So that's very nice. And the only downside is I have to find like some kind of accessory that I can dock it on so that it's not super low with just the back cover keyboard that keeps it really low on my desk, but that's the only complaint I have. But otherwise, it seems pretty stable. You do notice some tearing sometimes. You notice some responsiveness is not as quick, it's not as smooth looking, and the quality isn't also not as great. So I use this for taking notes, so that's fine for me. I'll drag over my Notion app and just take notes on it while I study or take my actual notes and do stuff on my other monitors. So again, it's up to you to try to figure out how you want to use that, but I think the extra screen real estate on this tablet is much nicer and be able to use that versus the Tab S8 Plus. Again, you can do all of this on a Tab S8 Plus, but it's up to you to decide, do I need that bigger screen? Will the bigger screen help me? For me, yeah, that bigger screen just looks a little bit nicer than the Tab S8 Plus's 12.4 inch. I think this benefits me more when it comes to that. You can also do video editing. So I currently just found out you can use Video Rush or Premiere Rush on both of these tablets. So again, you can run it on both, but I feel more comfortable using it on the big screen. So I'm gonna create this and use this as my home video editing machine. So I'll be, I won't be doing intense video edits, so I won't be recording or editing my personal videos on here, but I like to do home videos sometimes. And I think this is a great tablet for that because, I'm using it on the go or I want to mess with it when I want to. I don't need like a heavy intensive computer, I don't think, for some 1080p footage that I'm recording either on my phone or on my camera. So that's why I want to try using this as my video editing machine, see how it does of just 1080p long videos, the export time, see how it goes. But I definitely think that this would be a bigger or a better display or a better tablet for that, not performance wise, but just screen real estate wise. Again, you can do all of that on the Tab S8 Plus if you want the smaller screen. So all this stuff, I do find myself more comfortable, feeling more comfortable doing certain things on a Tab S8 Ultra because of the bigger screen. But if you think you can do that, or if you feel like, I want to do that, but a smaller screen actually would be nicer, then the Tab S8 Plus would be the way to go. The only reason you should get the Tab S8 Ultra right now, as far as performance or day-to-day usage, is because you need that bigger screen. You can use both of them for other things, so such as taking notes. You get a bigger real estate, a bigger canvas on the Tab S8 Ultra, but it all depends on where you're taking your notes. If you're at home, like personally, I'm taking notes right now at work, so I'm always at my desk, so I can just set this on my desk and take notes, which the bigger display is fine for that. But if you're on the go, the Tab S8 Plus is the way to go because of the smaller screen. You're gonna get a more portable, more comfortable, lighter tablet and easier to handle on the hands. Even if you're at a desk, and just kind of put it in your book bag, it's much easier to carry this little thing versus the big Tab S8 Ultra. So if you're a student, I would definitely recommend a Tab S8 Plus for taking notes and stuff like that. But if you're at your desk all the time, at home, whether it be for school or work or something like that, or an artist and you're always on the desk, you don't take your Tab S8 Ultra on the go very much, or just a tablet in general, then the Tab S8 Ultra will be fine. But the Tab S8 Plus is definitely more portable when it comes to that. And they both use Samsung One UI, so they give you all the features, all the bonuses that you would find on a One UI tablet. So for me, a lot of different things you can do on here. I probably don't take advantage of all of them, but whether you have the Tab S8 Plus or the Tab S8 Ultra, they both provide the same features that you can use on either or. And they both are pretty good when it comes to longevity and just like keeping them up to date. So they provide 4 years of Samsung updates or software updates. So you're probably good till 2026. So that's great if you're getting them now. You'll be good in long term. You don't have to worry about either or when it comes to software updates. But overall, both of them are going to be really good performing tablets. So it all really comes down to, what am I doing? How am I going to use it? What am I going to be doing? Would I benefit from a smaller screen or a bigger screen? If a bigger screen will benefit you more, you're going to like the day-to-day usage on the bigger Tab S8 Ultra. Or if you need that portable screen, smaller screen, then the Tab S8 Plus is the way to go. Because both of them provide the same performance. It's up to you to decide which screen size will benefit you the most. When it comes to cameras, I'm not a big heavy camera user in general, so for me, I'll keep it simple and basic. I would say they provide about mid-range camera quality. They're not super high-end in their features, but they give you the basics, and that's pretty much it. So on the front, you know, both of them are pretty wide. I would say the Tab S8 Ultra maybe is ever so slightly wider, but both of them are pretty good. So you can take some decent selfies and photos if you want to. You can also record up to 1080p video, whether it be in the regular 1080p, or you can go into auto framing mode, which is a special feature that allows you to keep yourself in frame. And I think you can use it in Duo. I don't know if you can use it in like Teams or Zoom itself. I've never tried it before, but I know you can use it in Duo or just record a video of yourself as well for like a presentation or something. On the back, again, same idea. The quality is a little bit better. It's a bump up from the front, but it's very simple. You're not getting a lot of features here. If you want to record 4K, you have to go into just the main camera sensor, versus the ultra wide, you have to go to 1080p. You can't record 4K on the ultra wide. But again, no big deal, because when am I ever going to be recording videos on my tablet? Maybe some people do, and so it's nice to have a mid-range type of camera, but it's up to you to decide if you're going to be doing that. But again, for me, not a huge deal. So the camera quality on here on both of these tablets, whether it be the Tab S8 Ultra or Tab S8 Plus, while it looks okay, good for the most part, I'm not a big concern about that. Only thing I do with these cameras is just like scan documents. So that's really all I do. So if you're just scanning documents, I don't need a super high-end 4K quality camera. It is nice to keep the PDF sharp, but it's probably overkill for what I use them for. But they're there if you need to use them. When it comes to battery though, the Tab S8 Ultra does have an ever so slightly bigger battery, but it also has a bigger display, so it kind of balances out. And again, I talked about my daily usage, and what I did find myself killing the Tab S8 Ultra more often during the day than I did the Tab S8 Plus. So because the Tab S8 Plus's usage was just simple, multimedia, not super heavy intensive, if you're just doing that, I was able to get about a day to a day and a half of battery life on the Tab S8 Plus, whereas the Tab S8 Ultra, where I was starting to use it as a second screen, starting to do decks a lot, starting to multitask, and beginning to start to video edit on here and use this for also just watching my videos like I did on the Tab S8 Plus, I was killing this by the end of the day. So there was some times where I would kill it by like 6 p.m., 7 p.m., maybe a little bit later, depending on my usage for that day. But then there's the days where I don't use it as often. So I have my work days where I'm working. I typically get a day's use, and I have to charge it overnight. So I would say it depends on your usage. You can see there that it really does depend on your usage. So since my usage is a lot lighter on the Tab S8 Plus, I was able to get a longer battery life. And then since my Tab S8 Ultra's usage was much heavier, I'm not getting as long as a battery life as I expected it, but it's still pretty good. They both also, like I said, come with 45-watt charging, as I mentioned in the beginning. So they both top up around an hour to an hour and 30 minutes, an hour 40 for the Tab S8 Ultra. But it's not bad. I wish it could be a little bit faster, but for the big battery that it has, it's not too bad. So charge this up for a half hour to about an hour, you'll get to about 40 to about maybe 70% battery life. So it should be good enough for the rest of your day if necessary. So that's pretty great. And you can also protect both batteries if you want to. So if you want to protect the batteries and keep these for a longer time, just keep a note that you will lose some time of your battery because you're cutting your battery life to 85% max versus 100% max. You're not using the full potential, but it's up to you to decide if you want to do that. So overall, battery life, I would expect that if I did the same stuff that I do on the Tab S8 Ultra and the Tab S8 Plus, I'd probably end up killing this by the end of the day as well. So battery life all depends on you, but for me, I would say it's good on both. It's pretty great on the Tab S8 Plus because of my usage, but it's good and okay, good to okay on the Tab S8 Ultra. So which one should you get? So it all depends. I know I hate saying that, but it all depends on your usage. For me, the way I use my tablet, I'm benefiting from the 14.6 inch display, so I'm okay with it. I would prefer the Tab S8 Ultra over the Tab S8 Plus, but if all the things I talked about, whether you decide I'm not going to be doing that, then the Tab S8 Plus will probably be a better display for that. So if it's mostly multimedia, then Tab S8 Plus is the way to go. But if you're like, I want to do all that, but I don't want a big display, then get the Tab S8 Plus. It's capable of doing everything in Tab S8 Ultra, just on a smaller package and cheaper package too. So for me, I'm more of a Tab S8 Ultra, but I still think the Tab S8 Plus is probably the best tablet to get for most people, and the Ultra is for people who want to take advantage of the bigger screen and just need the bigger screen. Just do all those extra features that you can do. So think about it. Think about what you're going to be doing. What's your usage like? If you're going to benefit from that bigger screen, get the bigger screen. If not, like I said, Tablet C Plus is the way to go. But otherwise, that's been it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys got something out of this. Like if you did, subscribe for more videos, and peace.